So for my presentation, I'm going to be talking about income producing properties. So there's two property types, residential and non-residential. Residential properties provide residences for individuals or families. Residential properties have two major categories, single family houses and multifamily properties. Single family houses is usually individual detached units in subdivision tracts. And some variants include cluster home developments, where owners share outdoor areas, and zero lot line developments, which contain single family and detached units. Um, Multifamily housing is usually differentiated by location and size of structure. They can be found in central business districts of major cities because the land costs are greater there than in suburban areas. Um, so for non-residential properties, there's six major categories: office, retail, industrial, hotel slash motel, recreational, and institutional. So a convenient way of categorizing non-residential properties is the use of space for the purpose of analyzing supply and demand. So office buildings range from major multi-tenant buildings found in central business districts to single-tenant buildings built with the needs of a specific tenant or tenants. Um, Retail properties range from large regional shopping centers with millions of square feet to small stores occupied by individual tenants. Um, it's also very common for retail and office space to be combined. So for hotels and motels, they vary immensely in size and amenities available. Motels are used primarily for business travelers and families to spend, 1 or 2 nights, and usually limited amenities available. And hotels are designed for guests planning to stay longer, such as several days or several weeks. And they usually provide dining options, swimming pools, and other luxurious amenities. And they could also cater to business conventions. So, if you're work for a company and you're you know, work on travel, uh, people tend to look for business and pleasure in hotels. So they look for specific amenities and things like that. So their whole trip isn't based just on work. For industrial, the property used for manufacturing or warehouse space and can include older buildings that were filtered down to become warehouse space. So, if there's a big building that maybe, house thousands of apartments, it can be transferred into a warehouse down the road. Uh, Recreational include country clubs, marinas, and sports complexes, and sometimes have dining and hotel facilities on site. And institutional include government agencies, hospitals, or universities, and are usually designed for specific purpose and not easily adaptable to convert to other uses. Like I said about the apartment buildings becoming warehouses, these properties usually aren't able to convert into anything else but what they're made for. So, comparing rental to personal property, Grant Cardone is a real estate investor who owns nearly 4,000 apartment units nationwide. In this video, he's going to quickly break down the difference between purchasing a home compared to an investment property.
When you go to your bank and you say, look, I got a house worth 500 grand, the next question they're going to ask you is what? What do you owe on it? Okay. Well, I owe 300 grand on it. Okay. Good, good. So they're like, oh, you have $200,000 worth of equity. It's called equity. Okay. We're talking about a house here. This is a home, one home. So like it looks to you like, oh, wow, we have money here. There's no money there. That's all made up. That's me, right? This number was made up, okay? The value, the equity of in your home is worth the same amount as me putting this marker on that board. Nothing. Now let me give you another example here. Let's say we had $500,000 worth of units over here. Let's say there was only 4 of them, even though I hate the 4-unit thing. The bank's going to say, what over here? What do you owe on it? Oh, I owe $300,000 on these four units. Okay, good. But there's one question that the bank can ask you over here. What is the cash flow of that property? Okay, what is the income invested? Oh, we make $30,000 a year in positive cash flow from that property. Okay, now let me give you one other part of the example that the banker won't have anything to do with until it's too late. It's 2019, all of a sudden the market freaking crashes again, okay? The world goes to hell. Who knows what it was? Cyber attack, ISIS goes international. You can't sell this. Why? Because the person that has to buy this has to pay for this. Guarantee this will still sell. Why? Because the person that buys this will get income from this. This is the basic difference between a house and a bunch of places to rent.
So, some risks involved with investment properties. Asset level risk is basically properties such as malls and hotels that rely on short term business and tourism travel, which poses a higher risk than properties such as apartments during economic downturns. And liquidity risk depends on the area the property is located in and also the economic conditions. Investors may have trouble selling the property during economic uncertainty, like now during the coronavirus pandemic. Some risks involved with investment properties. Repairs expenses, depending on how the rental agreement is structured, you may be required to maintain the building and the appliances inside each unit. Um, Inflation risk. Inflation can increase the rent charged to tenants, but it also increases the taxes and maintenance expenses. And legal risk. Tenants may sue you as a landlord if a dispute occurs about the property and who is liable. Legal expenses are very expensive and can certainly take away from profitability. So an example of this, is if uh, one of the units in the apartment building uh, has, a plumbing issue, and the owner refuses to, fix or replace the plumbing uh, in that unit, the tenant can sue the landlord over this dispute. And that's my slideshow. Thank you.